Hi, folks. Hope you're doing well. It's 25 minutes past 1 on the 15th of August 2020. There's a good football match later. Man City versus Lyon. That should be quite good. I think City should win that, really. Well, though, actually, never did. Oh, after last night's game, I mean, who would have expected Bayern Munich to beat Barcelona by that sort of score? No. Barcelona, with the attack they got, should have done far better because Bayern's defence were quite poor, really, but not as poor as Barcelona's. Barcelona's defence were really poor, really poor. Yeah, that wasn't impressive from Barcelona, really. There you go. Is what it is. Yeah, that was a bit of a that was a lot of an issue, really. Yeah. That team needs a lot of rebuilding and probably a new manager to come in and get some bite back into that team. Because when I watched it, the commentary was absolutely spot on. Messi wasn't even bothered to run 5 yards, to help out in the attack. So, and PK, oh my God, PK, he was terrible. Yeah, but you see this so often with defenders. What I saw with PK, attacker comes into the box, PK has got his arms behind his back, too concerned about, there may be the ball hitting his hand for a penalty. Get in and tackle. Get in and deal with the situation. Decide where your hands are. You're supposed to be a top defender. Defend. Get in there and tackle. That's your job. If the ball flicks up and hits you in the hand, tough luck. If the player tries to kick the ball in and it hits you on the arm, tough luck. If the referee gives a penalty for that, then that's tough. You can't do much about that. That's unfortunate. What you can do is stop so many of the really simple, basic mistakes that were being made in that game. I mean, that the left back for Bayern, superb. Played really, really well. But the way he ghosted past the defence of Barcelona was crazy. Where he just got in and nobody tried to challenge him at all. Nobody tried to close him down or challenge him. He was just free to just put the ball in. And then the player he put the ball into wasn't marked at all. Nobody got anywhere near him. Insane. Oh dear. Yeah, the mighty Barcelona. And Real Madrid the other day, they weren't very good, were they, really? The other way, City pretty much tore them apart. They handled Real Madrid so easily. They weren't exactly very good. Atletico Madrid weren't very good either. What is it with Spanish football at the moment? They had a massive rise where they were the team or the nation with the most fantastic football teams. They're slipping big time right now. I say Atletico had no answers at all. Real Madrid had no answers. Barcelona were just embarrassing. Well, I reckon that reports in Spain claim that Tottenham and Southampton former boss Pochettino has already held talks with Barcelona. So, he'll probably be the one put in there to do the job. Although, again, they've got to get the right players in because they've signed players. Over the years, they've signed players to come in and do a job. They've made a lot of money from Neymar going. And they just haven't really dealt with it. They've got some quality players, but they just haven't quite got enough. So at the moment, it's also the coach, isn't it, that's not doing the job. So anyway, that's about that. Okay. Had to mention that a little bit. Sancho. We're still talking about Sancho, aren't we? And that's because those at United stand still don't seem to have dropped the possibility of Sancho coming to United, even though it's looking less and less and less and less likely. I mean, anything's possible. But move on. A player that has been linked is 70 million rated Spain midfielder Saul Niguez, 25-year-old plays for Atletico Madrid. Now, he would be a player that would be worth getting. I mean, he would help to shore up that midfield and maybe replace Matic. He's only 25, got a long possibility. He's a good attacking midfielder and defensive. So he'd be good. 70 million, about the same as what you pay for Grealish, apart from this lad is better than Grealish. A lot better. I will have a look on YouTube. I'll see if I can find a video of him I can add to this. And that would be a great idea. Yeah. Oh, my car's had to green. Pain in the butt. Drove to Asda yesterday to get a bit of shopping. Just as I was about to park, I started reversing into a parking space and it just died. Completely died. I was stuck right in the middle of that bit of road. Just stuck. Couldn't do anything. So I got someone to help me to push me into a parking spot. Car stayed there until about 12:30. And then someone come and took it to a garage. They reckon it's the fuel pump that's failed. Because, I mean, you can just tell you're trying. It's going right to the point where it's just about to start and it doesn't quite. You keep doing that, it just doesn't quite start. So it's quite likely that. The problem is that the company that I've got breakdown cover with RAC. The company that RAC use in my area is really a company that deals with coaches and lorries and stuff like that, as well as cars. But they are incredibly busy right now. So my car won't even be looked at till Tuesday. So it's like, great. Saturday today, you've got Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days. And then it might not even be done till Tuesday. If they've got to, first of all, see what the issue is and then replace that part. And then how much is that going to cost? Because the whole point of insurance and breakdown coverage, you shouldn't have to pay for this, really. Well, because you shouldn't really. That's what you pay for the breakdown cover and for the insurance, is that you don't have to pay for this. Oh, well, there you go. We'll see. I did look at getting another small car. I'm still going to look at getting another small car because just for riding around, just town practicality, so much easier just to do it that way. At least on a short term, it'd be a good idea to do that. But yeah, so, okay. I'll look for that video on that player and we'll see what we can get from showing his talents because, yeah, I think he's a great little player and he would be brilliant alongside the likes of Bruno and Pogba. He'd be very, very, very good. So anyway, yeah, and obviously with regards to transfer rumours for Man United, and we'll continue with that for a second. Man United are considering a swap deal in which France midfielder Paul Pogba will return to Juventus, with Argentina forward Paulo Dybala moving the other way. No chance. This was being mentioned last summer. The summer before, I'm pretty sure it was, United were looking to get Dybala, but he decided to go to Juventus instead. I don't think United are interested in Dybala now. And I certainly don't think they would try and swap Pogba for Dybala because Dybala was not worth anywhere near as much as Pogba was. So that is most certainly not going to happen. Apparently Newcastle are interested in buying Chris Smalling, as are Fulham. Again, I think this is quite unlikely. How would either of those clubs be able to afford to pay his wages? I mean, apparently for Roma to buy him, Smalling would have to take a pay cut, and I think he's willing to do so to stay at Roma. But he'll have to be willing to take probably a bigger pay cut to go to Newcastle or Fulham anyway. So I don't think either of those teams have got any chance of actually getting him. Oh, yeah. Seems to be pretty quiet. Although, another bit of news. Apparently, COVID-19 travel restrictions could scupper a potential transfer for Ajax and Netherlands midfielder Donny van der Beek to either Man United or Real Madrid. Really? Yeah, I don't think so. If either team really wanted this player, it's quite easy. Most of the transfer stuff you deal with on the phone. Could deal with on the phone or Skype or whatever other form you want to use. Medicals you have to do in person, but easy enough. You could arrange to fly your medical staff to a medical facility and fly the player to that medical facility in a country that wasn't really being affected massively by COVID. That would be easy enough to deal with. So I think at the moment, of course, you're going to have a lot of news agencies covering stories that are just nonsense. You have it always anyway, but at the moment today, there really is nothing going on. Like there was another one. Lille turned down a 20 million offer from Everton for Gabriel. He's 22. 22-year-old defender. Good player. 20 million is nowhere near what Everton thinking. They were really thinking they could get the player for 20 million. And if that was the case, that Arsenal and United wouldn't be able to get the player anyway, because Arsenal and United have a far better chance of playing at a higher level than Everton do. So if Everton want to get a player in ahead of those two teams, they really need to offer a bit more money than either of those teams would be willing to offer, and a better contract. And I don't think that's going to happen. Also, apparently, Inter are interested in signing Kante from Chelsea. Well, I'd certainly say if Kante is available, which I shouldn't imagine he is, but if he is available, then I think every single team that could possibly buy him should be interested. Fantastic player. I mean, United, jeez. Having him and Pogba, yeah, Rick on the United stand, loves Matic. But Kante, instead, I think Rick would be pretty happy with that anyway. Because remember from the World Cup, Kante and Pogba, they were absolutely superb. So having them playing together on a regular basis would be absolutely fantastic. But I don't think that's going to happen, because I think Chelsea would be mad to let him go. Unless he really wants to go. If he doesn't want to stay, then they've got really no choice but to sell him, I suppose. But I don't think that's the case right now. I mean, Chelsea had a pretty decent season considering they weren't able to sign any players last summer. Yeah, they're starting to sign players now, so that's going to make a difference. They got rid of Hazard, that was their best player. So if you can get rid of Hazard and still end up, yeah, I think they had a pretty good season considering, really. So I think Kante will stay there. I don't see any reason why he wouldn't. So that'll do you for now for the football gossip. There really isn't anything else. We've got the City game tonight. That should be interesting. It would be a very interesting European Cup final, though, because you've got some interesting teams in there. Yeah, Bayern will probably be the favourites by a long, long way. Although, again, City could beat them. Because if Bayern play so badly in defence as they did against Barcelona, then I think City could take advantage. I think City's defence will play better than Barcelona's defence did. So City could beat them. Well, especially as Pep knows Barcelona. Sorry, Pep knows. Yeah, well, and Bayern. Pep knows Bayern. He managed there. So therefore, he knows their players. He knows how they get the best out of their players, etc., etc. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But all right, it's going to be clever. It's going to be quite fascinating to see what happens with this. I think we've got some good games ahead. And of course, on Sunday we've got Man United versus Seville. Is it Seville? Pretty sure it's Seville. Yeah. Just going to check something. 1 second. For some reason, my computer is slowing down massively right now. I don't know why. It just is. It's a bit weird. So yeah, you've got RB Leipzig as well in there, and that's going to be fascinating. Paris Saint-Germain, I don't think that they're going to be much of a threat, really. Oh right, so okay, the last quarter-final is Man City versus Lyon. So you've got Paris Saint-Germain through RB Leipzig and Bayern. So yeah, Bayern are going to be the favourites. Then it'll probably be City or Paris. Well, City have got to beat Lyon, but I think they should be able to do that. But wouldn't it be wonderful if RB Leipzig won it? Actually got through to the final and won it. That would be fantastic. I mean, I think what we need, I'm not sure who would play who though. But RB Leipzig will play Paris, so that's brilliant. I think they've got a very good chance of doing so. They've got a good chance of winning that. So that's pretty cool. That means that Bayern will play either City or Lyon. So if Bayern can be knocked out, I think RB Leipzig have got a very good chance of winning this. I wouldn't fancy him against Bayern because, two German teams, Bayern being the top German team, it might be a bit too much of a stretch. And facing Bayern in the final, maybe their confidence wouldn't be so high. Anyway, just a few thoughts on that. Right, you take care. God bless, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.